Kanye has been in the news a lot lately on his press run, saying a lot of things, causing a lot of ruckus with some of the things he's saying against Nike and who's the guy in Paris?
The guy wouldn't take his meetings.
Yeah,
Francois or something like that.
You know,
He's the next Nelson Mandela.
That was fake.
I didn't hear that.
That was fake. Yeah,
he said he's the next Ralph Lauren.
He said he's the next a lot of things. It started with the Zane Lowe interview, and I think that was the one that kind of got it. And, you know, we thought, because when he did the Zane Lowe interview, I was like, okay, just Kanye exclusive BBC interview. He's gonna only give it to him, and that's gonna be that. Which that interview, of course, sparked a lot of controversy because of Jimmy Kimmel mocking him, and he got mad about that, and you know, went on this little Twitter rant, and they made up and stuff like that.
He went on this show.
He went on the show. Yeah, when he was talking about, I'm the biggest rock star in my mom. So, but what you guys think about this press run? Because Kanye's been on this run for a minute, man. Like, and we haven't seen a press run like this from Kanye in how many years?
Ever.
Dead in hip hop conversations.
Mike's in town, dead in
Hip hop conversations. Here with Night Wonder. What's good, homie? Peace to the A. Dead in hip hop.
With Kanye from the Zane Lowe interview, I understood the majority of how he felt. You know what I'm saying? But as he's had more interviews, you know, I've really honed in on how he feels. I don't know if I would put him out there as a genius, but you know, he definitely has a lot of things to back up those claims. You know, especially when we're talking about the fashion industry and how he feels like they're just trying to marginalize him. I think that's where I really understand where he's coming from. Who?
Marginalized.
Oh yeah. But
him being marginalized, whose fault is that?
I think it's part of him.
It's Kanye West.
He did to himself.
But I think it's part him and it's the people that are marginalizing him as well. Because when you look at it, right? Because when you look at it, I think there's only like one black designer that he said, and all of this stuff was.
There's not just one black designer. See, that's the thing. See, black folks, they hear Kanye say some shit, and we assume that he's correct, and we just run with it. It's not true. There's now, but the thing about it is this: how many black high-level fashion designers can you really name?
No,
that's the question.
So high-level fashion, there's more than one black designer.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But the whole thing is, they only get so far. The fashion industry, of course, it's racist. My thing comes in when Kanye's trying to act like that's the reason they don't fuck with him, and they said he can only do urban design. Look at you. You run around causing all this trouble, you get drunk, you run up on the stage during the fucking Emmys or Grammys, wherever the fuck it was, and you disrupt the show. You're running around, nigga this, nigga that. What do you expect?
Fighting the paparazzi.
Fighting
paparazzi
people.
And stuff.
What do you expect? And that's why they accepted someone like Pharrell. He doesn't do that stuff.
He's safe.
He's safe.
Yep, very.
And it's not even a matter of, oh, you can't act black, you have to act white. At some point, it turns into acting with some fucking class.
Act like you got some sense.
Act like you have some sense. Kanye has a problem with doing that. So, come on, man, they're marginalizing me. Well, you're marginalizing yourself.
Okay, so then explain how, like, with his shoe deal, right, with Nike.
That's not high-level fashion.
Okay,
that's not the fashion industry.
Yeah, and I don't know.
But it's the issue he has.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's part of him being marginalized.
That's why he ended with Adidas?
Yeah, he's with Adidas.
He left Nike because they didn't know when he was going to drop his shoes. He did apologize, but you know what? I think he apologized because he realized, and maybe somebody called him up and was like, yo, man, like you going too far. Like, you need to kind of, pull back a little bit.
Yeah, the way he went that way too, shit.
Well,
You ain't got the answers, Ralph! You ain't got the answers, man! What is your company?
Hold on, we'll get
I don't know!
We'll get to that.
Sway was literally just asking him, well, why don't you do this?
He ain't got the answers!
I did that.
You ain't got the
13 million.
How, Sway?
How, Sway?
How?
You ain't even do this like me.
Man, Sway should have yoked him up.
And it's like all this ranting and shit Kanye been doing. It's like over saying the actual music and shit, man. It's like you forgetting that this dude make music because he just been so busy ranting and being in the media and running the
He
goddamn
wants to be
stop
bigger
signs
than
and shit.
music.
Huh?
He wants to be
We
bigger than music.
understand that, but you're not a 5-year-old.
Exactly.
I want the sandbox, B.
Thank you.
Let me play the sandbox. Ask.
Yeah,
But you, and if B says no, you move on.
Move on.
Or you go find your own sandbox.
create your
Or
own
you create your own
And
sandbox.
that's
Don't
what Sway
cry
was saying.
about it.
And that's what I'm saying. He's so big, Kanye. Dog. You have such a huge platform. Why are you dependent on these people? Why are you waiting on these people? You can do this shit yourself.
How, B?
You're here.
You ain't got the answers, B.
You're right.
You ain't got the answers, man.
What happened to your clothing line?
That was disrespectful.
That was fire.
Yeah. What's your clothing line?
Nobody even know the name of it.
Yeah, that was so bitch
like,
shit.
really?
man.
You haven't been doing it as big as
God, that was
you
some
haven't
bitch
been doing
shit.
it as big.
It
as
wasn't
me.
Ralph though. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And that's the issue I have with Ye. It wasn't Ralph though. Why are you aspiring to be Ralph Lauren? Why don't you start here and move up?
Inspire someone else. Be
And he could.
just as, yeah, he can
Yeah.
because he can be
No,
just as
he wants
big.
them to automatically just accept them. When they don't,
Right,
it's automatically racist.
But here's the thing though, like he made one point that I truly agreed with, where it was, he was like, what's the difference between Nike and Apple? Nike's a $26 billion company, and Apple's a $600 billion company. Why? I think the main reason is because Steve Jobs, and there's one of the greats that he compared himself to, and I think that a lot of these brands, outside of Kanye ranting and doing all of that crazy shit, I don't agree with that. Like, that's the part of Kanye, I'm just like, Kanye, if you just stop that and you had the same spiel, like, people would fuck with you more. Because I truly believe, me being a Nike fan, I'm not a sneakerhead like that, but I do like shoes and stuff. Like, I think you could take Nike, further. But when you act like this, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's certain companies in fashion, apparel, and all of that he could definitely add value to.
Kanye has that much influence.
I think so. I think so.
To take Nike to the next level.
I think so.
He's tricked you, man.
I think that because look at the numbers on the Yeezys. Look at he sells shoes, dog.
Is it Jordan? It ain't Jordan type shit. No.
Jordan has his own.
But see,
That's
that's the
another
whole
level.
point.
He has his own
So it's like,
company.
how is
That's another
Kanye
level.
gonna take you to a new level that Jordan didn't already take you to?
No, but Jordan became his own separate company. Like, they're not even Nike. No, I feel you. He started with Nike,
So
though.
Kanye can
He
become
started
his own
with Nike.
company with Nike.
What I'm saying, but you never know. You never know. You don't know if you give him this opportunity to just Kanye, just do you, put out shoes, you control everything, and you don't know if he can't build his brand as big as MJ. I'm not saying that he will. I'm not saying that, but you don't know until you get a meta opportunity because the Yeezys sell.
But you know what though? What were the two companies?
check my balls.
Nike, right? So Nike, and then you got Steve Jobs. You know the thing. You know what those companies did? They started with a guy. He created it and he built it up. Kind of goes back to what Sway was saying. You're a guy. Get behind it. Build it up. And do your own thing. Be Kanye West. Don't be Kanye West and Nike. Don't be Kanye
Right.
West
And Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. No.
He lost $13 million. So what are you gonna tell him?
Be.
But
So
what's
lose
his
40
target?
million?
Lose
lose 40, lose 50, lose his whole
Okay,
fortune.
so maybe the industry isn't meant for him. Maybe Kanye, you just can't do everything.
There you go. What did he lose the money on exactly?
Well, he said doing fashion. I don't know, going out.
But listen to what you said. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
None of us here know what Kanye West was doing with that money.
Exactly. We
So
don't know
Kanye
exactly.
West,
Mhm.
right? But we're all sitting here trying to blame the fashion industry. Now, again, we've all heard many examples of the fashion industry being racist, and one because I can't name more than 2 high-level black fashion designers. I can't name more than 2. Not that I sit up here reading GQ every night,
Right.
because I don't. But I'm saying, we all know a lot of the white ones because they get the most publicity. The whole point is, though, Kanye says he lost 30 million. He 13 million. Okay, that's a little bit better. I thought it was 13 million. Okay, so $13 million. That could have been because he was trying to force his way into the top. Maybe if he'd started at the bottom and moved up, he'd have been a lot better off. But look what he does. He designed some shirts, and then motherfuckers sell them for how much for that?
160.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you think that is wise? Start small. And he says, well, I didn't price the shirts. You're Kanye West. You mean me to believe
Right.
that you can't call them up and say, you know what? No.
Blow that shit
No.
down.
I want those shirts at $60. They're gonna say no? We're not gonna take your designs? Crock of shit. Crock of shit. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sit here and really feel bad for Kanye West. And then you're talking about, oh, well, they tell you I can only do urban things. They don't want to let me do high fashion. You just designed basketball sneakers. Why do you think Kanye West can design high fashion clothing? That's my question.
I think that he's an artistic guy. I don't understand high fashion like that to be like, well, Kanye can absolutely do it or not do it. I just think that he's an artist and he truly believes that he can. So I want to see what he will come.
Kanye West?
I believe in Kanye. So I just want to see. I want to see what he does.
Artists based on fashion or
This on every like he's a type of person that just pushes the envelope. So but even like his whole argument of the whole leather jogging pants. He's like, I had that shit 3 years ago and they just not getting hot when they could have been hot 3 years ago. So look, like I said,
who wears leather jogging pants again?
Mike, not me.
No, I'm saying who's the demographic for leather?
I don't know.
No, we discussed it last time.
Oh, who is it?
the demographic for leather jogging pants?
Shit, I forgot.
Wasn't it black folks?
Oh, I don't know who's wearing it, Mike.
I thought we decided that. Oh, I don't know. I thought we decided that last time we talked about this. That this was a black folk thing.
Yeah, look.
Oh yeah. Because Sophie said she saw people.
That's what. Okay. So once again, first of all, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Leather jogging pants. Mm-hmm. Does this sound like something you would see a high fashion white model walking down the runway wearing? Or does it sound like something that 2 Chainz would wear?
Sound like something 2 Chainz.
Okay.
With his,
you can't.
2 Chainz.
And I'm not hot and sweating.
Exactly. Exactly. Turned up.
in the club.
And I'm not saying all this to dog Kanye out because I don't know if he can do this. If you think that you're such a great designer, leak some of your designs. Because you're not going to make the money off them anyway.
Yep.
So throw a couple of them out there. Let us see what you've done. If the only examples you've given us so far are basketball shoes and leather jogging pants, how do you expect everyone to think that you should be doing high fashion when the 2 things that you've done sound like urban items? I think this should be more about, is it fair that only 2 black fashion designers are kind of allowed to be big? Kanye should be talking about that, not just talking about himself the whole fucking time. Talk about that. And if that's really the problem, why don't you tie up with these the 2 that are progressing? Link up with them.
Yep. I think Kanye's approach to this whole thing, it obviously has to do with the fact that he's not being accepted by the fashion industry. So he wants to take this guerrilla approach to gaining that acceptance. And for the it's not working.
It's making it worse.
It's making it worse. Yeah. There was the interview that he did with the Breakfast Club. And then, of course, we all heard what he said on Sway. He was like, Sway, you got what they wanted. Like Charlamagne wanted this, and I wouldn't give it to him. I wouldn't even look at him. I was like, you know what? This guy knows exactly what he's doing. He knows when to turn up, when not to turn up. He knows exactly who he wants. Everything is so strategically planned out. And he said, you know what? I'm going to force my way into this industry, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go here. And he keeps popping up everywhere. Over and over again, saying the same message over and over again. We was on Juan Epstein's podcast. They didn't even want to talk about any of that stuff. And Kanye found a way
to get it in.
You know.
See, did you notice this though? If you watch the Breakfast Club interview, if you watch the Sway interview, and then you watch what he did with Hot 97, he not only was he talking about the same things, he was saying the exact same things.
Yep.
He wrote these things out and said, I'm going to say this on air. When I first started listening to his rant on the Breakfast Club, I started thinking, I was like, man, I need to go back and re-listen to Yeezus, because maybe Yeezus is not what I thought it was. Maybe Yeezus is the sound of a person losing his mind. And if that's the case, I'm missing something. Let's do it again. Crazy people think on a different wavelength than everybody else. Crazy people see things differently. And a lot of times it's because crazy people are so smart that we don't understand what they're talking about. They will talk about your gray sweatshirt and they will relate it to the universe and atoms and molecules, and you'll just be like, alright, you're fucking nuts. But they're not nuts. They're just so fucking smart. They're smarter than your brain can comprehend. So I started thinking, okay, maybe that's what Kanye is, because he said the same thing on all 3 shows. He says, Adam, Or Eve tricked Adam into biting the apple, and ever since then, it's illegal to be naked. And he said it like that shit was deep.
Yeah, he did.
So the first time he said it, I was like, okay, I feel you. And then he said, we need to talk about the laws. So I was like, oh, okay, I get you. Woman fucked it up, and now we can't be naked, but there's rules about what we can wear. And he wants to break those rules. Makes sense. But then he said the exact same thing again.
And again.
And again. And again. And not just reworded like it's really a thought.
Yeah.
He said it verbatim. So it's almost like somebody wrote this for him and said,
Hey, yo,
say this.
On this one.
Crazy people don't do that. They just don't, because he was saying a lot of shit that didn't make any fucking sense.
It's a plot. He plotted this whole thing out.
He's trying to make you think that he's so deep you don't get it.
And I think you said before, Ken, you like, Ken, he know what he's doing. I think from the get-go you've been saying like, he know what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's
He
doing.
got this shit plotted out from the get-go. You caught it. Because when I remember when you first said, I'm like, really? You were like, yeah, he know what he's doing. He knows.
Do you also think that this press room has anything to do with Jesus as well? The lack of acceptance with people?
No. Jesus is getting top album of the year in various
It
magazines.
is, but like he said, it's not being played on radio.
He didn't, but then he said he didn't want to be on
He's on the
radio.
radio.
I didn't hear him complain about that. He said, I went in there and I intentionally didn't make radio songs. That's what he said.
But he
And I
also
also
says
like-
that he also talks about certain songs and it was like on site. He's like, it's like he's saying that, but he also says like I said, I intentionally did that. I didn't put like Blood on the Leaves is the song, right? But I put it here because I wanted to start with on site instead of that because I know what people want. But at the same time, he still brings it up and kind of puts it out there.
Well, of course, he's gonna talk about his music because everybody knows Kanye for his music first, right? And he says that, yeah. And Kanye West acknowledges that hey, you all you people mess with me because of the music I've put out. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he's still gonna make references to the music and this, that, and the third. You know, I think it also plays into like the Bound 2 video being bad on purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything he's doing right now.
Bad.
Well, yeah, no, I believe that too. I'm just saying everything he's doing now is on purpose.
Right.
Jesus was on purpose.
And Bound 2 is on purpose. Why? Because it's the song that everybody likes. It's the song that everybody's saying,
fucked it up.
I want more
On
of this.
purpose.
Well, the video maybe.
The video.
But what I'm saying is like this song Bound 2 is the one that people are saying, oh, I wanted more of Bound 2. I didn't want On Sight. I didn't want New Slaves. I wanted Bound 2. So then Kanye's like, shit. Well, let me give them Bound 2 because they not fucking with anything else. And at least I know with that, I'll get on the radio. It has Charlie Wilson on it, got a soulful hook to it. You know, it's accessible, it's radio friendly. You know, and now he's gonna come behind that and say, you know, On Site is this, that, and the other. And now his message is, and the way he's trying to spin it is like, oh yeah, I wanted to make it inaccessible. You know, I wanted it to be jarring and to throw people off to make them think this, that, and the other.
So you think that was his message from get-go? You don't create this type of project and not
I'm
feel
not
that
buying
way.
it. Kanye put this out, and Kanye thought people were going to immediately love it. They did not, and you know he cannot accept that. Kanye West cannot accept that black folks don't like his music when he does something different. Just like he cannot accept the fact that I'm Kanye West and the fashion industry won't let me in because I'm Kanye West. Or Nike won't say when I can drop my shoes. They'll just
fucking ego, man.
Yeah.
It's his fucking ego. His ego would allow him to say, I made an album that not everybody likes. Instead, he just says, I made an album that everybody gets. This is the same thing as that dude that goes to the club and talks to the fine chick and she disses him. What's the first thing he says?
Oh, she ain't really that hot anyway.
I ain't like you anyway.
All right.
That's what Jay's doing right now. I ain't like you anyway. I did this on purpose. Now the Bound 2 video, I do think he did it on purpose because he and once he said, I was trying to take all white trash imagery and put it into a video, and make it mine. I believed that because when I saw the video, that's what I thought. I got in a debate with this guy on YouTube. And he was coming at me because of the things I said on the Ask about Kanye, even though we didn't even really talk about Kanye like that, but he was stuck on it. And he was like, so you got that. The Bound 2 video was talking about race relations. And I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious? You thought that concept was that deep. He took a bunch of typically stereotypical white imagery. The horses, the motorcycle, the even banging the fine white chick on the motorcycle
In the
with the green
desert.
screen in the background on the desert, right?
In the desert.
All of that shit. It was basic. This is basic. So when he said that, I'm like, yeah, I totally believe that you did that on purpose. And he did that with the song that everyone likes because he wanted to drive that idea into you. Because if he did it for on site, half of y'all probably wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah.
So I feel him on that. Even though I'm still slightly missing the purpose, because by making a video like that, you're not championing any black idea. You're fucking a white chick. You're marrying a white chick. You're having a baby with a white chick, and then you're saying that we need to change the way we think about race. Sure, but at the same time, it's not like, what are you doing for black people really? And that's the part that kind of confused me. Making leather jogging pants and Yeezy shoes,
Right,
and then charging $300 for fucking concert
for a
tickets.
t-shirt.
That you know that urban kids can't.
$120 for a white T-shirt.
The
Right, it's almost
Confederate
like-
flag.
Oh, right, yeah, taking the Confederate flag back. And it's like, you're not gonna take that symbol. It will forever be what it is.
Yeah.
The whole new slave thing. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know how he says that the new slave song is like the best lyrics in hip hop ever, and it's like I understand where you're going, but you're not doing anything to remedy the mentality of new slaves, and also making like your stuff like you were saying with your clothing and everything else more accessible to people that can't afford it. Like you're not helping out the black community by making dope shit that most of us can't afford.
But he did say that, and you brought this up earlier, he said that, you know, I didn't have any control on the price. So when I control it, I want to make it accessible for people.
But I feel like Mike, like it. I think there's a level of bullshit to that, because I am Kanye West, and even if Nike is a very powerful company. If they say that this is how much it's gonna be and this is when it's gonna come out, and that's in your contract with us, then you know it is what it is. You're legally bound to that. But at the same time, like how Sway was trying to get at, you spend this $13 million, and how you said, why can't you get with the black design? Like, why can't you create your own? On your own, you know, and I don't know. I don't have the answers, Kanye. We asking you, and we still don't understand like what you did or what you didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Because with how you're the biggest fucking rock star, right? Self-proclaimed. Why can't you be successful? Like, why can't you be the main guy in something? Why can't you put your team together just like you did Donda with your whole creativeness?
They won't let them because they're racist. Damn it.
That's the answers.
That's the answer.
They're racist.
He's that chick that was trying to get on the cheerleading squad and they wouldn't let him. So what they did was, the girl that didn't get let on, she goes around and says, well, that person has herpes. That person has a stinky pussy. That person fucked 12 dudes, you know, in the last hour. That's what Kanye's doing. He's calling for a fucking boycott of Louis Vuitton. Black people in Atlanta, don't go to the Louis Vuitton store today. I wasn't going anyway.
Kanye knows exactly what he's doing. This is a plan that they devised to basically bogart their way into the fashion industry, and they don't want him in there. And Kanye has a problem with that. I also think that Yeezus kind of being in the middle of the road, I think he has issues with that. So I think there's a lot of things that's going on with Kanye emotionally, and Kanye is everything that's going on with Kanye right now. He caused and created this himself by saying Bush don't like black people, and then taking the mic from Taylor Swift. No, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that by him being an outspoken person, these companies don't want Kanye on their team because Kanye is a risk and they cannot afford that because they need that money.
I just think you need to stop ranting and raving like a little girl. I mean, Kanye, you have the resources to create this fashion lane that you want to create. So stop complaining and whining and creating all this controversy and bullshit, and just do it, man. Just do it. Shit. You is a guy, so do it.
Create that shit. Take Sunday off.
I do feel bad for Kanye to a certain degree, because I do feel like he's being blackballed, but I think at the same time, just like Ken said, it's his own fault. Just like he said, you know, for all this trying to blackball me, you forgot about two things, my black balls. Well, fine. Use those black balls. Go find you some more black balls. Get you a whole bunch of black balls. And at some point, they're going to have to look at your black balls and say, shit, we can't deny this anymore.
There's a lot of black balls over there.
There's a lot of black balls. There's a whole lot of green money connected to those black balls.
Yeah.
And that's where he's fucking up. But Kanye's ego, just like he's calling himself Walt Disney. He's calling himself Howard Hughes.
Warhol.
He's calling Warhol. Maria Abramovic, for Christ's sake. She did things because she had ideas in her head that other people didn't see. And she executed those ideas as a true performance artist. Kanye, you're not doing that. Kanye, go find you some friends. And find you some friends with money. And force your way into the industry. Stop being a little girl and crying about it and trying to insult people. It's not the way to do it. And Sway, you have all my respect for not choking his ass up.
Sway.
I don't support violence, but I'll be goddamned. A dude as big as Sway, and Kanye yelled at him in his face like, mm-mm.
You got the answers, Sway. You ain't got the answers,
man.
You ain't got the answers, man.